Hello everyone, welcome to Indian Economy by Aman Soni. In this new series called PREority, we would be discussing the important economic concepts for the prelims examination. Let's discuss what are gross and net NPS. Before proceeding, let's get to the basics. What are non-performing assets? Banks are into the business of accepting deposits for the sake of lending. So when the banks give loans, these loans given to the people are the assets for the bank. That is, the bank has to receive this from the people, so they are considered as assets. When the bank has given a loan and people fail to pay the interest or the principal amount within 90 days, banks have to consider those type of loans as non-performing assets, because the loans are assets for bank and they are not realized within 90 days, either the interest or the principal amount, they will be considered as non-performing assets. Once they are considered as NPAs, banks have to start making provisions on that. What are provisions? Provisions is nothing but taking out certain amount of your profit and keeping it aside to meet an unexpected contingency in future. Say you have given loan to Mr. X of 100 crores. You know that after 90 days Mr. X hasn't paid money. So after 90 days you will think, okay, he's not going to pay me 100 crores. I'll think it is a risk that, okay, I'll keep a 10 crore provision. Maybe he may not pay the loan. But after 180 days, you will increase the provision as per RBI rules. You will start keeping 30% of this 100 crores, because even after 180 days, he has not paid anything. So finally, after 3 years, it turns into bad debt. You will completely write it off. Write it off means in your accounts, you completely negate the loan, saying that he's not going to pay you. So this entire thing is a loss for you now. That's what is meant by write-off. So we have understood what are NPAs and what are provisions about. Provisions are nothing about keeping aside a set of profits to meet uncertain contingency that you are going to meet in future. So what are gross NPAs? Gross NPA is nothing but sum of all NPA assets. That means you have given loan to Mr. X, which is an NPA. You have given loan to Mr. Y, which is an NPA. So sum of all these NPAs is nothing but gross NPA. So they include all the principal amount and the interest amount given to all the people who are defaulting. What are net NPAs? We discussed provisions here. So what is the actual loss for the bank? When you deduct your provision amount from the gross amount, the amount that is due, that is the actual loss that the bank is going to show it in accounts that particular year, right? Because already you have a provision, you have put aside money. So that particular year, how much you are putting out of your pocket to meet that particular NPA, that is the net NPA. It is the asset obtained after subtracting provisions from the initial amount. Because you are already put aside a provision, whatever is the remaining loss that you are going to incur, that is net NPA. That's why it is the actual loss faced by the financial institution. And higher NPA affects the liquidity and profitability of the company. It means that when you are directly facing loss, if your net NPAs are increasing, it means directly you are putting money out of your pocket. That affects the liquidity in the sense your ability to pay back your debts, and the profitability, because you are incurring your losses, your profits are getting affected. This is bad for the bank. Let's also discuss a related concept, that is gross NPA ratio. We saw what are gross NPAs. Gross NPAs are nothing but sum of all the NPA assets. Gross NPA ratio is expressed as a percentage of total gross NPAs to the total loans given by the bank. It shows the asset quality of the bank. It means out of the loans given, how many of your loans are turning into gross NPAs? Say you have given a loan of 1000 crores. If 100 crores are gross NPAs, it means 10% of your loans are turning into, in future they may turn into bad debts. You may not realize them. So if the gross NPA ratio is higher, what does it mean? It is bad for the bank. That means the more number of loans that you are giving, they are turning into bad debts. So that's why the gross NPA ratio shows the asset quality of the company. Higher the ratio, lower is the asset quality.